Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for joining me for Real Talk NFT. As you know, I'm your host, Brian. We all know my amazing co host, Joe. We have a really special guest here for you today. It's Dave, the co founder of Lyvely. They are absolutely revolutionizing the creator economy. Definitely excited to hear all about Lyvely and what they're building. Dave, really appreciate you jumping on today.
Great to be here.
Well, before we get started, want to hear all about Lyvely and how you're, empowering creators. Because personally, I know that's a big thing in this world and something we are personally really interested in. But would love to know a little bit about your background, where you started maybe in Web 2, how you got into this crazy world of Web 3.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, thank you for the introduction, and it's great to be here talking about my favorite thing to talk about, which is Lyvely and the creator economy, like you mentioned. Look, I don't have a Web3 background going back, to the good old days. I'm relatively new to it. My background is in fitness and wellness. I've been an entrepreneur for over a decade in the supplement space. So I've been started off my career as a health coach, turned into online health coach. Is kind of where the wheels got turning. Kind of became a creator through that by promoting your business online and building up your following and building up your community. But the Web3 space really started calling me when I got switched on to SocialFi, in that space for the first time. And as a Web2 creator, you kind of looking at all these cool things going on over there, but some challenges in. So with Lyvely, like you mentioned, creator monetization platform, not social media, not just a place to post and put it out there and hope for likes and views. It really is a place to think more entrepreneurial, to with every post you make, you're really working towards monetization, whether that's building your community or posting for exclusive content for members only, or locking something behind a paywall. Lyvely does all of that. So we really want to help creators and coaches and anyone who has a digital product or service to think more entrepreneurial and give them the platform and the tools, including DeFi tools, to do that all in one place.
Yeah, that's great to hear. It seems like Lyvely absolutely is going to empower creators, and we talk about that all the time in the world of Web3 and utilizing blockchains and leveraging, just this technology to, empower creators. I'm curious, can you explain a little bit about this micro community revenue model and kind of how it works with Lyvely and how it, impacts both creators and users at the end of the day?
Yeah. I mean, great question. So, I mean, essentially, the trajectory to success on typical social media, right, is you think about becoming an influencer, right? Instagram's not going to give you a check, and certainly not going to give me a check. I haven't got one. YouTube will only really, cut you a check if you have like X amount of subscribers that have, a significant amount of watch time. So we realize there's so many people that haven't hit that metric yet in the mass followers, but they have really engaged audience, right? And they have and
Sure.
maybe you have 1,000 viewers or followers or subscribers, but those thousands are really invested in what you're promoting or what you're selling or whatever your storytelling is. So the idea of micro communities with Lyvely especially is like, okay, well, the trajectory is you don't have to try to become an influencer on Lyvely. You just have to take your 100, 200 fans that want to subscribe to your service, and you can have a great business off just a couple hundred people. And that's where it starts, of course. So yeah, we really want to help people rethink what their trajectory to online success is, and don't think that you have to be huge to be successful. Is like you can take these smaller steps and you'd be amazed at how small of a community you can actually have that is willing to pay, that you can make some pretty good money on a monthly basis.
Yeah, that's amazing stuff. Actually, it's funny. My wife does a lot of she does a lot within social media and started a digital company utilizing social media, and everything's run through Instagram and her
Yeah.
platforms, and it's such a it's hard to explain to somebody. Like she like tries to explain it to somebody who doesn't really realize like how captivating social media is and how you can really, be successful by just having a few hundred people, dedicated customers,
Yeah.
dedicated followers,
Yeah.
follow what you're doing. And obviously you have to provide a service, and totally understand your background as a fitness and health guru and how that could just really boom, and you get this like almost this cult-like community. And it's real
Mm,
similar in Web3. We get that with a lot of these different projects and communities and how everybody wants to kind of like work
mm,
towards the same goal. Curious about how Lyvely integrates like DeFi into your SocialFi platform and how that
mm.
works and what the advantage is there.
Right. So I mean, that's kind of our USP is we sit on the edge of two worlds, right? There's the Web3 world and there's the Web2 world. So in the Web3 world, you have the dApps, right? Decentralized apps. And then on the Web2 world, you have the cloud-based apps. So we actually are not a decentralized app. We are built on cloud infrastructure, but we've implemented the DeFi tools. We have an ERC20 token built on the base network. So we've snuck. We're very sneaky about it, which we think is the secret to, and it's been validated so far, is if you want mass adoption, right? If you want the creators that are using TikTok, there's always Web3 users using Instagram, of course, and using LinkedIn and using TikTok, but the majority, let's be honest, the majority, 95%, are Web2 users that don't even have a crypto wallet. They don't have MetaMask. So to put that barrier to entry, to say, hey, we want you to sign up for the social platform, but you need a MetaMask wallet. 95% of people are like, what? That's just not my world. So we went ahead and we built an intuitive Web2 infrastructure, but we implemented our token into that experience, and it's so seamless that people don't even know they're interacting with the token. Now, of course, we're early, right? We're still pre-launch. Our actual launch date is October, question mark. But we already have we already have about 20,000 users, some amazing creators. People are making money using Lyvely, and the token goes live. I'm not going to say a date because we're probably going to push that forward. Actually, we're probably going to TGE earlier than expected. But yeah, so our token goes on chain soon. But it's just so exciting to see those who would have otherwise never got into the crypto space start to interact with your token and your point system, and then they realize like, damn, this becomes like I can sell this on a market. This actually has utility, but I can actually turn it into cash. It's a real new idea for a lot of people, and that's what's really exciting.
With the 20,000 users that you've had so far, I know it's been a short time frame. What's been like the biggest feedback that you guys taken from that?
I think the majority of our users, interestingly enough, are coaches. They're not influencers. We have a lot of influencers, but mostly they're those with the service. So a lot of people, and we were surprised by this at first, but a lot of people started using Lyvely because it was the perfect place to start their monthly membership for their clients or for their community that, not necessarily going to purchase your content, but they have a like a monthly membership to my weight loss program, or they have a monthly membership to my my mindset program. So we were very surprised that the bulk of our creators who really gravitated and resonated with Lyvely early are those with a digital service more so than with content that they're trying to sell. It's interesting.
Got it.
Yeah, that is interesting. I would think it would be the latter, that it would be more so they're thriving with a digital service, you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're basically like, with Lyvely, you can make a post and you can upload a training program, like a 6-week nutrition plan, or you could I'm using a lot of fitness and wellness as examples because that we have a high population of those users. But it could be anything. I mean, we have someone who's uploading photographs from their Australia conservation company, and it's really interesting to see how creative people think about when you give someone a place to make money. And that's I think the key is like Lyvely gives you a place to lock content or services behind a paywall. There's not many places doing that, especially in the social space. And so when people found that, they're like, oh, damn, I have this ebook that I wanted to sell and it's for sale on my website, but no one goes to my website because I don't invest in SEO. But with Lyvely, you're getting discovered by new people and you're collaborating with others. So you're basically getting on the radar of people who never would have found you before, and you can sell basically anything you're currently selling. You could just do it on Lyvely. So yeah, we were surprised at who is using that.
Is there benefit? I'm sure there's benefits for users. I myself probably purchase a fitness program online every year, and I finish it. That's kind of my thing. I finish one every year, like 3 months, 6 months. I bought it from females, bought it from males. I bought vegan ones. I bought different ones, meal plans. Is there something for users where they can gain some reciprocal benefits from that DeFi?
Yeah, so we're working towards becoming like our vision. Again, we're pre-launch and we're rolling out the roadmap that we had always envisioned, but it comes in phases. But our master vision is like a trinity marketplace where you have the creators, you have the brands, and then you have freelancers. So you have these three archetypes existing in one ecosystem. The creators need the brands because the creators want to offer UGC to the brands, or the creators want to be affiliates, and the creators want to collaborate with these brands. The brands need the creators because they need the UGC, they need the advertising, they need people to help expand their brand. And then the freelancers, they got services. I'll build your website. I do voiceovers. I do graphic design. So Lyvely is really like a marketplace that exists to connect all three of these, and that's what we're most excited about, is watching everybody who comes into the Lyvely ecosystem. They start to use the features we have now for monetization, but they're already seeing that we're growing into more of like a networking connection place, which is what we're super pumped about.
Yeah, that'd be great, because I find that I do most of these fitness programs alone, and having it to be within a community where I don't know, I can gain points, Lyvely for finishing certain workouts. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I love, actually. So back to your more specific question about like what's in it for the users, is that's what excites us about the element of tokenization, right? Like a user can come to Lyvely, and just by participating, like for example, by joining a community, in your case of fitness, you would actually, as the user, you would earn points from just joining that community, because you're creating commerce by engaging with someone. That helps Lyvely as a platform, that helps that creator, so we reward you as well. And I honestly think that's probably the coolest part of Web3 that Web2 users have not experienced before, is like, as a user, I go to a platform and I get rewarded. That's amazing. And that's really what Web3 has opened up. And I think that's really the future of SocialFi and interaction online.
Can you give us some use cases on your Lyvely token? Curious about how that's going to integrate within the platform.
Yeah. So, I mean, currently essentially it's like an engage to earn. Like, you just by going to Lyvely, creating an account, populating your account, uploading your profile image, you get points. Uploading your background image, you get points. Making your first post, you get points. And then we take it one step further by engaging with our verified creators. You also earn points. So like that's the step one to earning on Lyvely. That's like the core simple utility. It gets a little bit more exciting when you start to commerce, like when you start to purchase or sell. One thing we're super excited about is every transaction that happens in Lyvely in fiat, we actually ensure that 10% of that transaction is actually made in live token. So like, let's say, for example, creators make 100 grand next month on Lyvely. Well, 10 grand of that we will buy off the exchanges in our own token to reduce circulating supply and increase, price like that. Another cool feature is that creators, so Lyvely has a business model where we take 10% of whatever creators earn online. Like, we're completely free, we don't charge you, but whatever you earn on Lyvely, we take 10%. If you choose to get paid out in Lyvely token, we take zero commission. So that's a really cool feature where creators like, hey, okay, wait, I can save 10%. I just have to cash out in live token. So that helps us as a business to increase utility of our token, increase demand, and take circulating supply off the exchanges. And it's a huge benefit to creators who save 10% and they just take home more.
That's awesome. 100% for a creator. That's, I would like to say, unheard of. Yeah.
Well, that's what Web3 enables. And again, that's why, there's a lot to love about the Web3 world, but there's also a lot of barriers for a new user, right? It's an intimidating process, right? So again, why we're so excited with Lyvely is we're using the best parts of that DeFi environment, bringing it over to an intuitive and friendly user experience. And this way, we really believe this is the key for mass adoption. This is how you're going to go from what, I don't know, you guys probably know better than me. What is the statistic? Like 5% of people in the world have a crypto wallet? Is it something like 5?
That's a good question for our parent company, Crypto 101. But we can tell you how many digital. Yeah, it's probably less than that for people who engage with Web3 overall, I would say. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was going to say, if we want to get that number, more closer to 50-50, that's a world I'd love to see, where more like 50% of the population have crypto wallets. It's really going to take a different user experience, a more familiar user experience to bring the masses into the Web3 world.
That's a great question. I am now very curious about the percentage of people in the world that have a crypto wallet. That seems absurdly low, but also too high at the same
Right?
time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
5%
yeah.
seems like a micro amount, but like we run in these tight circles as you do as well. And everyone, I'm talking about Magic Eden wallet, Rainbow wallet, MetaMask wallet, all sorts of different wallets. But if I talked to my neighbor down the street, they would look at me like I had three heads.
Totally.
So I love what you're building here. How we talk about on the channel all the time. You're making things easier. You're embracing the benefits and advantages of Web3, applying it to a Web2 model, and it's going to benefit both the creators and the users at the end of the day. Something else that I love that you're doing is that you actually have utility behind your token. That was a question I had on my paper. I'm like, what's this Lyvely token, and how are you going to actually provide value? Because a lot of platforms will just create a token to create a token, but the buybacks, the incentives is really a great sharp move.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, look, this is Lyvely's our baby, right? My co-founder and I. My co-founder is a brilliant woman who is a legend in the corporate world. She's a UK Supreme Court lawyer and fierce lawyer. Don't want to mess with her. And she's just a brilliant woman. And she's actually managing director and chief legal officer for the public listed company that's the 5th largest Bitcoin miner in the world. So she also doesn't come from a Web3 background, but when our paths merged and when we brought Lyvely to life, we really thought, how do we make a token that actually has like just massive utility, and that the utility is real world, right? It's not just token gated access, like I can get in here. It's like, how do we turn this token into cash? Because ultimately that's the biggest worry that most non-crypto natives have, is like, okay, I buy this crypto and then what? Can I pay my rent with the crypto? Can I buy a Starbucks coffee with crypto? Can I, you can do a lot of those things now, which is great, but the average person doesn't realize that you can, right? And so by removing that barrier and by making token and cash so seamless, then you're really creating something that that resonates with people, and that's the secret to mass adoption.
Yeah, and I think you're in the UAE. Wait, I'm not really good with geography. You're in Dubai. Is that part of the UAE? Is it?
Yes, it is. It's a big part of the UAE. Yes.
Yeah, I think mass adoption is really coming strong, and I have a point to this. California just digitized 42 million vehicle titles onto Avalanche, and I know UAE. The UAE is pegging a stablecoin with Tether to the dirham. Is that what it's called? I must have butchered that.
Yeah. No. Actually, it's funny. You guys have no idea. That was actually my co-founder and our investors, the Phoenix Group, who made that deal with Tether. So it is our financial backers and our partners who connected Tether to the AED dirham. So yeah, we're the first local peg. Yeah, man, that's huge. So funny that you mentioned that, because yes, that's big news. And that is key to mass adoption as well. The world is going digital. The world is going more towards blockchain, but it's just got to be accessible, So yeah, it's coming, man. It's coming.
I feel like it's coming, and I also feel that what's worked in Web 2 is just getting renamed. I wouldn't say inappropriately in Web 3 world, and I think you made a like a tag. I wouldn't say a tag, but a fancy kind of like model that a lot of people throw out is walk to earn, right, from a step-in.
Yeah.
And then and then you have engage to earn now, which I've never heard of, which is pretty cool. And there's drink to earn from some podcast guests that we brought on. And what's crazy is that those are all Web 2 relevant strategies that have worked really well for decades. It's just we kind of put a Web 3 branding on it and made it seem kind of sour, but really it's an amazing strategy. And so I was just, I just wanted to echo that these are things that aren't going away. Stepin hasn't gone away. They've launching partnerships every single month because people, if they want to do something, they want to get something for it. And that's been happening in the Web 2 world. I think we're just making it better here in the Web 3 world.
That's a really good point. The rewards programs have been around forever with credit cards. The more you spend, the more you earn, right? Like that system of reward has been entrenched into, normal daily life. But the funny thing is, because Web3 has a little bit of an obsession about talking about technology, which scares the average person, I think it's prevented some people from getting super excited about it. rather than niche, right? But like you said, STEPN, all these big companies, and even MasterCard now is making partnerships with MetaMask, and like it's all coming. It's all coming. I think this bull run personally is going to. It's may take a little while, but we really are going to see a lot of fresh blood entering into the market. New people coming in who are not the ones who have been burned before and coming back in, but really first timers are going to be coming in because now it's interwoven into more of their daily life. So yeah, exciting times.
SocialFi is a relatively new concept in the world of Web3. I want to say it feels like almost the past couple of years, I've been seeing more and more companies and platforms utilizing, SocialFi. Curious about your macro thoughts on how that industry can grow and, what your outlook is, over the next few years.
Yeah, so SocialFi specifically is very much Web3, right? You're bridging social and finance. So I think that the creator economy is going nowhere but up. So many people are considering themselves creators now. You see pilots, who spent almost a decade in school, doctors, lawyers, who actually are considering themselves digital creators. If you look at their profiles, they're like, yeah, forget that I'm a doctor, I'm a digital creator. Like it's becoming an absolutely accepted and honorable career choice. So the creator economy is in its infancy for real. We're going to see a massive influx of working professionals, independent professionals who turn to content creation as a means of either communicating their business or just getting out there and being visible. I think SocialFi is going to pick up on that, win market share from big tech's normal platforms, and start to bring people over into the Web3 world. I do see SocialFi going from several small platforms, which is the current state, to multiple and some really big winners in the space. I do think that in the next 5 years, we're going to see a SocialFi decentralized app that is designed for obviously monetization. I think it's going to be taking a big chunk of the creator economy, and that's exciting to think about because that just gives creators more opportunity to earn, and the users that support them more opportunity to be rewarded. And that's an ecosystem everyone can get down with.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head about the creator economy and just giving the example of the doctor there, how it's like he's a doctor in the day, but he's like streaming his everyday life for him putting on his scrubs, checking in, I'm going to go visit it. And we watch it. I watch these things on Instagram and these social media platforms, like a real estate agent who is, what they do is they show homes, but I watch them do the setup and they're going to meet their guests. And I kind of laugh to myself, but that's kind of where our attention is right now. And I personally do enjoy it. And I love what you're doing here in the creator economy. And you threw out some great numbers of creators that you already have on your platform. So you have a growing community of creators. Curious how the future is there, how you're planning to onboard more people, kind of what the strategy is.
Yeah, well, look, to be honest, we haven't even kicked off our marketing, right? Everything we've been growing is more or less organic and personal network and, word of mouth. And my last business, which was health supplements, we amassed a significant community. And so we have a lot of traction from that. But moving forward, we're really looking at strategic partnerships and going after, sporting clubs. We're in discussion right now with some really exciting athletic clubs, with tens of millions and hundreds of millions of followers, to bring their fan base over and bring their athletes over so their athletes can use Lyvely like a non-adult OnlyFans, because to be honest, Lyvely, these athletes, they don't want to be on OnlyFans, right? That's bad for their, some are, but it's bad for their overall reputation. So we provide a monetization environment where they can do all of those things, monetize their content, start a community, and tokenized as well. So we're really looking at growing through partnerships with, athletic clubs, sporting clubs, and of course, just getting on the radar for your average creator who is looking for better monetization opportunities than currently exists. We're giving them a home.
I had a question about the word Lyvely. How did the inspiration come for that?
Lyvely. So funny story. We initially, our initial name was Spotlive, because we wanted people to be like kind of on the spotlight and realize that, you know, they can build it themselves. It's on them. We got a cease and desist letter from Spotify, and we're like, as a startup, we're not going to fight Spotify. You can have it. So we changed to Lyvely, which I love, because Lyvely for us symbolizes livelihood. You know, how you make your living, and also lively vibes, right? Like, I mean, just imagine a world where more people lived a life doing what they actually love. Like, woke up every day and is like, you know, F yeah, man, like I'm pumped for today. I can't wait to build this. I can't wait to, you know, fill in the blank. Like, so many people go to work and they don't love what they do, and it just sucks the life out of you. So for us, it's like how you make your livelihood is everything. And so we want to see more people make a livelihood doing what they love. And that's the core behind Lyvely.
I love it. Hey, it's 7 a.m. over here. I woke up excited. I woke up lively.
There you go. Yeah. See, that's it. Woke up lively. We want people to wake up lively. I like that. I'm going to use that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just send over. I'm going to get a Lyvely wallet, so you can send some tokens there.
There you go. Exactly. Drop in your address.
Not going to lie. The name Lyvely is better than Spotlive. Like, just from my personal opinion, not trying to talk, you know what, on Spotify and the other name, way better.
Thank you, man. And you know, it's funny how things always work out, right? Like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And when it happened, at first we were all like, damn, what are we going to do? And then when Lyvely came in, we're like, oh man, how could it be anything else? You know, like, thank goodness that happened. Like, thank you, Spotify. Thank you. Yeah.
It's so clean. You kind of said, like, in a Web3 term, it vibes, but it really does. Whatever that really means at the end of the day, I know what it means, but it does. Lively vibes.
It does, man. It's a vibe.
Awesome stuff. I love what you're doing here for the creator economy. Probably going to talk a little bit offline about my wife, because I think she might be able to benefit from what you're building here. She is as normie in the blockchain and Web3 world as, like, for somebody who works in the industry. And then when you talk to her, she's like, I don't get any of this. I was like, don't worry, we're going to take 100% of the Lyvely token. We're going to roll the dice and go that way, because I love what you're building.
I love it, man.
I want to give you the opportunity to just call out any websites, how people could find you, what you're building here, just to showcase what you have happening.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I mean, for all the Twitter followers, X followers out there, we're Lyvely Official. And, you know, you could just go to lyvely.com, Lyvely. And yeah, you can check out our website and then just sign up for a free account. You know, just get into the Lyvely ecosystem, you know, roam around, check out some of our verified creators. And as of next week, so right now we're only monetizing for UAE residents, but next week it's global. So literally starting next week, you go to Lyvely, you build a profile. From the first time you post, you could be earning, and it's that simple.
I love it. Can't wait. Definitely get signed up for our accounts. Everyone, make sure you take a look at Lyvely. We're going to drop the links below. And we really appreciate you jumping on, Dave. This has been really fun, really informative, and we wish you all the best.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. Thanks, Joe. Take care, guys.
Thank you.